Hey guys, and welcome to It's a King Thing, and I'm Ray, of course. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Okay. Okay. So, I just have a couple of things I want to ask y'all. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this whole Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, they shenanigans, and then him calling black bloggers bottom feeders. I heard that today and I was like, well, what do you mean a bottom feeder? Well, what makes a blogger a bottom feeder? Like, I'm so confused. So apparently he has an issue with Storm Moreau. Shout out to Storm Moreau. I love that man. He is so great. He teaches you all type of things. I mean, all types of things. You might want to listen to him. And Miss Essie Berry, listen. She'll tell you in a minute. She's not a blogger. She's an activist. So don't go trying to get her to become a blogger. She is just trying to speak her truth, right? Shout out to Miss Essie. I think I had a conversation with her today. I think she's wonderful. Anyway, so apparently I hear through the grapevine, allegedly, Steve is trying to gag order people. Now, I heard this and I was like, well, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I was not paying attention in class. But I thought gag orders only work when you're in the midst of litigation. You can't just gag somebody because they're saying something about you. That's not how a gag order works. So him threatening to gag Miss Essie or Storm Monroe, that's not really going to work unless they're in court because a gag order is to keep from specific information getting out of the courtroom, period. So if you're not in the courtroom, how are you going to gag somebody? If you don't have litigation going, how are you going to gag somebody? I'm so confused. So maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe they didn't mean that he was going to gag them because he can't gag them. They're ungaggable. I like how I did that. Do y'all like how I did that? But you cannot gag people for just any reason because you want them to shut up, understand what they're saying. Furthermore, it's a whole different situation when you're trying to say that you're going to hold them for liable, right? Or slander or any other nice, wonderful legalese words that people like to use that you cannot apply to this because they don't, like the O.J. Simpson case say, if it don't fit, you must have quit. It doesn't fit. He says your breath stinks and they have proof that your breath stinks, tangible, verifiable proof, you can't say they're liable for telling the truth. It's the truth. Now, if it's a lie, that's a different situation. But if people is coming with receipts, honey, you can't charge them with anything. You might want to go sit down and be quiet somewhere and hope it dies down. But what you got to stop saying is that you're going to sue people for this or liability for that, or are liable for that or slander for this because it just doesn't work that way. You can't say you're liable because you said I slept with such and such. Well, did you sleep with such and such? Well, yes, but there's no but. It's either yes or no. So if it's true, then what can you say? Now, if it's a lie, then that's a different story. However, then there's that whole situation of your amendment rights. You could just blame it on the amendment. Well, I could say what I want under the amendment. I'm just saying. Black law says libel is a defamatory statement expressed in a fixed medium especially writing, but also a picture, sign, or electronic broadcast. Okay, that's what libel is, a defamatory statement. Now, what would constitute what would constitute a defamatory statement? Hmm. Should we ask Black Law, y'all? I'm just asking for a friend. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not lying, then I'm not lying. Now, defamation is the act of harming the reputation of another by making a false statement to a third party. Now, the question would be, was the statement false? And again, I say, if you can prove that it's true, then we're back to the same original statement. You can't charge me with something that's true. Now, I believe that allegedly there was some abuse done to Winton Harvey. Some horrible, horrible abuse. I mean, allegedly, Steve Harvey beat Winton Harvey upstairs in an attic with a fraternity paddle and a belt. Now, if anybody knows anything about that old grimy Steve Harvey, we all know he's a part of the baddest fraternity around, Omega Psi Phi. Shout out to them Qs now. However, if you used your fraternity paddle to beat that little boy, I don't think the bros are going to take that too well, buddy. I don't think they're going to take that too well at all. If what they're saying and alleging that you did to that child, if those pictures ever come out, if the testimony ever comes out, if the proof ever comes out that you beat that child with an Omega Psi Phi fraternity paddle, you're going to have some splaining to do. Some splaining to do. Okay? Okay. I feel for Winton's mother. I don't even understand how she has dealt this long with this whole situation. I don't understand how, baby, I don't understand how. Yeah, y'all real mamas know, right? He couldn't be my kid, just so you know. Couldn't have been mine. Him or her. Yeah, it'd have been a whole new situation. But we gonna move on from that. At the end of the day, what I'm hearing about Winton Harvey, I'm so praying that it is not as horrific as I think it is, or as I'm hearing that it is. I'm praying that the little boy is having, I don't even, you just can't even say a happy life at this point because that trauma will never go away. He will forever be scarred from that trauma. And you never know when a trigger is going to rear its head. All I can do is pray God's hedge of protection around him. That's all I can do because I can't even imagine for his mother to have endured this. Baby, my hat's off to you. I am praying for you because even when your kids become grown, they're still your children and you still have to be there for them because you carried them for 9 months. You know what I mean? And then you wonder, well, what did I do to deserve such a grimy man as their father? I mean, mm, we all know, I told y'all I had my issue with Steve Harvey, with my kid back in the day and the way he treated him. And I was like, dude, you don't even know, but you're going to learn today. Today you're going to learn. So, I just, I can't even imagine. You, I, baby, it could have been my kids because it just would be a whole new situation. And then let's just talk about Shirley Strawberry and her pedophile, down low, whatever he is, husband of hers, because at the end of the day, them charges against him are so horrific. And I'm just like, but you're still in the air. Why? And apparently, according to her, you've lost your home, you've lost your car, you've lost your stuff. And why? You're starting over at your age. What a horrible thought. At this time in her life, she should be sitting back with her feet up. But you know what? I don't feel sorry for her at all. Let me tell you why. Number one, if my daughter or my granddaughter told me that not some, he ain't even somebody, that my husband, let me say, I'm getting pissed off thinking about it. If my daughter or my granddaughter came and told me that my husband did anything that they are alleging that he did, do know that y'all would be putting money on my books. Do know that. I don't think that a woman would sit there and lie. Now, I could be wrong and she just could be lying for attention. Okay, that could be so. And if she is, shame on her and she got to go deal with God on that one. But if she is telling the truth and you, Shirley Strawberry, did not handle that man, you did not stand up for your child, your grandchild, you need your ass whooped. I said what I said. As a mother, as a grandmother, as an auntie, as a sister, you need your ass whooped. I don't even believe that you could even sit on the phone and talk to this nigga. And he. Bitches, you crazy. I mean, oh Lord, see? Mm. When I tell you he couldn't call me, let me tell you something. He wouldn't want to call me. He would know better than to call me. He would know better than to call me. Period. And you sit on this phone and you have conversation with this clown like everything is all hunky dory and groovy. Are you crazy? And it's alleging that he did something to your daughter, your granddaughter, and clearly it must be some evidence because the judge gave him restraining order against your daughter and your granddaughter. I should have said that different. Get granted your daughter and granddaughter a restraining order against him. That was a better way to say that. What? Huh? Or let's not forget how the judge gave a restraining order against animals. Not really, it's animals, but what? Why do animals need a restraining order against your husband? Girl, bye. You just sit up there and gave relationship advice to everybody and told them basically how dumb they were for dealing with the situation that they dealing. And you got the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the audacity to have anything to say about anybody's relationship. You cannot tell me you did not know that Negro had other women. I ain't believing it. You can't tell me that when he got that house out in Roswell, you didn't know about it. I don't believe it. You can't tell me that when he put her down there in the same building you was in and you didn't know it. I don't believe it. And if that did happen, then you a bigger dummy than I thought. How on earth do you not know where your husband is? He got a woman here and a woman in Florida. What you mean you don't know what's going on with your husband? I'm so confused. Are you that lonely that you would allow this man to make you feel lower than low, to put a price tag basically on your daughter and your granddaughter? Really? And if you look at him, he don't look like nothing. Nothing at all. At all. I always tell my daughter, you don't date somebody that got less than you. What? What? Girl? Mm-mm. And now you don't have no, you got the AGOTS. You ain't got no APT and no CAR. The only thing you got left is a JOB. And right now, we don't want you to have that. Because the fact that you are condoning, because that's what it seems like you're doing, condoning your pedophilia husband is a problem for me. That you get on the air every day and your husband is a pedophile. Your husband is what is it? Bestiality? I think that's the word that it's called. When you have sex with animals. I gotta stop saying that on the air. When you have sex with animals. You know they need to take your tail off the air. You let somebody come before you. What is with y'all? You and Steve letting somebody come between before your children. What is with y'all letting somebody come before your kids? Those are your children. He let Marjorie and her children come before his. You letting this dude come before your daughter, your granddaughter. Y'all crazy as hell. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. You can't come before my kids. Those are mine. I laid there and pushed them out. You crazy. Ain't no way. I battled my parents over my kids. Are you crazy? Absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable. I'm so disgusted with y'all right now. Like every time I hear Steve Harvey, don't even say his name. I don't even want to hear his name, let alone his voice. Y'all are ridiculous. And then he wanna, me and my woman is fine. And then she turned around and said, well, I did have an affair on him. Well, God bless America. Which one is it? Y'all fine or she had an affair? Which one is it? I'm so confused. It's like a revolving merry-go-round. The whole Steve Harvey show needs to be off the air. How about that? He need to go sit down somewhere because not only did he dog out his own children, I'm pretty sure it was some fraud committed in them divorces with that first wife. And see, I personally think somebody should pull that information. They should pull it and check the dates, preferably the IRS and the FBI. Pull that information, check the dates, pull the tax returns for everybody. Because allegedly, Steve couldn't pay because Marjorie was taking care of him. But how was Marjorie taking care of him if she ain't never had a job? And if she had a business, quote unquote, how does she fund that business if she ain't never had a job? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend because allegedly she ain't never had a job. So now I need the tax returns. That's all I'm saying. Since they so good at going back in people's past, go back in that past over there. I'm just asking for a friend. Like, what we doing? What we talking about? Just saying. I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You want to gag people. You can't gag nobody that's not in a criminal court. And then that reminds me of what Tyrese was saying, how when he was going through with his wife, soon to be ex-wife, whatever you calling her, um, and he had a gag on it, couldn't say anything. That's how she got the gag order on him because they were actually in litigation. They were in court. So how are you going to gag Miss Essie Berry or Storm? You're not in litigation with either one of them. But for you to call black bloggers bottom feeders, you got a lot of nerve. Them damn chicklets in your mouth. Bottom feeders. Wow, that's what we are now? When we bottom feeders, when everybody was running out to buy them damn Steve Harvey suits, supporting Steve Harvey and watching the comedy, when we bottom feeders then? When we bottom feeders, we was watching your little show on TV? Were we bottom feeders there? Because I'm pretty sure there wasn't a whole lot of peach people watching your show. I'm just saying. So when you talk about bottom feeders, when you was homeless and all that other stuff, were we bottom feeders in? Or were you right on the bottom too? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. Like, were we bottom feeders then when we were running out and telling our boys, get the Steve Harvey collection and put that suit on and get that tie and all that old stuff? Were we bottom feeders then? When we was supporting your Steve Harvey Foundation when you was coming over to Faithful Central Church? When you guys was coming over there teaching the guys how to tie ties and stuff like that? Were we bottom feeders then? Or we bottom feeders now because now you in the hot seat the way you like to throw other people in the hot seat and talk about other people's business. Now it's on you. Now it's on you. Spotlight on you. Hot seat. You in it. But at the end of the day, how dare you call black bloggers bottom feeders? Like, wow, damn, you really? Why are they bottom feeders? I have to say me now, and I guess I'm a blogger. Why are we bottom feeders? Because we won't just let you be Jim Jones. We're gonna drink the fucking Kool-Aid? Are you serious right now? Right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what the problem is with blacks? We don't hold other blacks accountable for the shit that they do to each other. We always want to look the other way when black on black crime. If you did any of that shit that they say you did to your son, you need your ass whooped. I said what I said. You need your ass whooped. I can't imagine as a mother, knowing that you beat my child like that and I can't do nothing. Ain't no way in hell. Yeah, you had the right one. You had the right one, baby. You had the right one, because you'd have had a Miss King in your life, baby. And let me tell you what, it would have been a whole different situation. Guarantee you that. It'd have been a whole different situation. Off top. Off top, it'd have been a whole different situation. Because you and Marjorie could have got it. For off, man, listen. I don't know how Miss Mary Harvey has survived all this time and let you keep walking on earth. I swear I don't. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. But you had the right one and you gagged her. And then something I heard somewhere, allegedly, you checked her out of a mental ward to divorce her. How the hell is that even legally possible? What type of shenanigans is going on around here? I need the receipts. See, y'all gonna make me call Miss Essie back and be like, listen, I'm gonna need them receipts so I can go run and look at all of this and see who can we go after and fix all of this. Cause you know what my true justice would be right now? My true justice would be to find out that Marjorie created fraud, committed fraud on that house when you were still married to the other Mrs. Harvey, with her house name Marjorie Harvey, and she wasn't a Marjorie Harvey at the time. So that would make that have to void that, which would have to void your marriage to Marjorie, which would make you back to being married to not just Margie, no, Macy, all these M's. You got to think for M's. Macy, Marcy, Marjorie, and Mary. All these M's. You got a pattern. You got a pattern. Okay. But what I would like is for all those marriages to be voided and you be married back to Mary Harvey. Now that would be justice. That would be justice. It would serve your ass right. It would serve your ass right. If you did any of these things and we can prove that you did any of these things, I hope all of your marriages is voided and make you marry back to Mary Harvey. I promise you I do. And then Mary would get half of everything. Everything you tried to dog her out of, she would get now. Now that would be some sweet poetic justice for your tale. If you did any of these things, I pray God lets all of it come to the light and let Mary get her just desserts, because don't no mother deserve to have to watch your trifling tale the way you did them babies and her, and have to sit back and take it because you wrong. You are so wrong and so far. You're disgusting. I said what I said. And again, y'all know I've never been one to throw a rock and hide my hand. I said what I said. It is what it is. You wrong. And if you beat that baby with that Omega Psi Phi fraternity paddle, man, I hope them Qs come see you with they paddles. I hope they come see you with they paddles and they boots. Let you see how it feels to let somebody beat all the dog stuffing out of you. Ah, man, if any of that's true, if any bit of that's true, I swear to right hand to God, I'm gonna call every Q I know, and I know some of the baddest and the biggest in the fraternity, and I'm gonna demand they make you lead a fraternity. I'm gonna demand that there is retribution for your shenanigans. Do you hear me? Let me find out. Let me get near bit of evidence of this truth. I'm gonna start making calls. Hell, I might even pull up on them and be like, yo, we need to have a conversation. Just like the conversation I had with the Qs when you was real funky to my child back in 2000 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I was like, oh, you picked the right kid on the right day, homie. Hold on, let me make this phone call real quick. Let me find out any of this is true. Any of it is true. Let me find out that you took an Omega Psi Phi fraternity paddle and beat that child with it. Okay, let me find out. Let me go see if I can get some receipts. Cause if I get one receipt that says you did that to that child with that fraternity paddle, I swear to God, every Q that I know, I'm calling them or I'm pulling up on them and demand that they handle you. Demand that they make you lead a frat. That's what I'm gonna do. Because that child did not deserve that. And I'm just sick to my stomach at the mere thought of it. But see, that's what you busters and you punks do. You beat on the soft and the feeble and the disadvantaged because it makes you feel like a big man. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Y'all need to stop being such punks in life because that's what makes people get guns and shoot at y'all and kill y'all because you a punk and you pick on the weak and you pick on the small and the feeble. That don't make you no less of a punk, though. You still a punk. You still a punk, and you gonna always be a punk. Let somebody tell it. Allegedly, you like, yeah, well, we ain't gonna go there. Just know if I find out any of it is true, any of it, any little bit of it, if I find out that you even tapped him with that paddle, I'm calling all the bras. I'm pulling up on the bras. And I'm gonna be like, y'all gotta do something about this because this ain't gonna work for me. Let me find out. I said what I said because you grind me. I can't stand you or your girl. She's been for me. She was there with me in the trenches. The bitch should have been, she didn't have shit either. Neither one of y'all had shit. How about that? Yeah, I said what I said. So y'all build up together. That's great and noble. But like they said, she was a drug dealer's girl. She knew how to build. That's what she did. I'm not impressed because if she's a real woman, you always build your man up. Period. I said what I said. I'm getting off here, guys, because as you can see, that's damn Steve Harvey and his antics. Him and Shirley Strawberry got me on right now. Like between Shirley Strawberry and her pedophile, scamming, no good, low down, dirty, swear he on a down low husband, and Steve Harvey that allegedly beat his son what they call that boy Brantford, that's not his name. Wynton Marsalis. Good Lord. The Marsalis boys must be talking about me. Anyway, uh beat his son, Wynton Harvey, split his back open. He was peeing blood, and he did this with an Omega Psi Phi fraternity paddle. I'm so angry. If I get one receipt that shows any proof that he did this, I swear I'm going to the Qs. I'm going to every last one of them. And I know some big ones. Y'all that know me know I know some big ones. And demand they put him out the frat because that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. I hope that the IRS, the FBI, and everybody else investigate these marriages, these divorces, these grounds for the divorces, the documentation that was used for the divorces. Check the dates, check the tax returns, check anything that can make this be proven that all of it was fraud. Please and thank you. And then I heard there was a whole IRS situation going on. Baby, please, please, somebody, Lord, you say everything that you do in the dark comes to light. Let it come to the light, Lord. I just ask that you wipe that smile off his face, Jesus, and remind him who is God. Because you don't like ugly and you ain't too fond of pretty. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I need to go rest my nerves because this has just got my stomach in a knot. Like, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a sister, as an auntie, I can't imagine somebody beating a child that one, especially someone that swears up that he cares for the kids. Let's talk about that. You swear up that you care for the kids, but this is what you do your own flesh and blood? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Your wife is in a psychiatric ward and you took her out to get a divorce. I just need to know if any of that is true. Like, I need, see, and I'm trying not to go look for no documentation, but I promise you, if I find out, if I get any receipt that you did that with that Omega Psi Phi fraternity pilot with that little boy, I promise you, I promise you, it's going to be some problems and repercussions. I promise you that. I promise you that I will not rest until I go see every Q that I know and be like, y'all need to handle this. You will never tarnish the Omega Psi Phi fraternity reputation because you was stupid and you was on one and you beat your own son with the paddle and had his back split open. Because that's what his mother said you did. I said, Mary said, shout out to Essie Berry. That's how she was saying. Mary said, his mother said, and I heard her say. So I'm just saying, if I get one receipt, I promise you, I promise you, like I'm sitting here really in my feelings. Like, what would possess you to beat a child like that? What was wrong in your soul that allowed you to beat a child like that? Let me find one receipt. One receipt. Let me find one. As a matter of fact, now I'm about to go on the search for them. I'm about to make a couple of phone calls and text messages. Oh, it's a little late. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna make a couple of text messages and phone call. If I get one receipt, one that shows any damage to that child from a fraternity paddle of Omega Psi Phi, I swear for God, I'm calling all the Qs. I'm calling all of them. And some of them, you know, Steve Harvey, spend time with them. And I'm going to demand that they revoke your membership because your ass didn't go to college and go online like the bras did. You didn't do that. We ain't going to talk about that. We gonna move on. Hey guys, I'm gonna go because as you can see, I'm on one right now. And I think I might need to have me a little Four Roses or some Blantons, some kind of whiskey or bourbon, something. I'm gonna need something right now and go to sleep because I just can't even imagine Mary Harvey and what she has been through all these years. And the fact that, everything that she's saying is coming out for the world to hear. Not just for bottom feeder black bloggers like he said, but for the world to hear. Because he had gagged her. He had gagged her. Uh-huh. He had gagged her. And I can't even imagine. There ain't no way in hell. Couldn't have been mine. I'm gonna just be honest, it could have been mine. My dad would have to keep money in my books or something like kids. Somebody has to keep money in my books because it would be a whole different situation. Promise you that. I'm gonna go take myself to get me some whiskey, some bourbon, some something. Glad I keep it on deck. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope that you guys are good to yourselves and be good to others. It doesn't hurt to bless somebody. I just, we are our own worst enemies. We are our own worst enemies. Please be good to one another. Be good to yourself. Have a good day, guys. And if you're not having a good day, don't you dare go mess up nobody else's. Shout out to my girl Tabitha Brown. Right now, y'all, I'm so disgusted and pissed off at the same time. I don't even know what to do. All right. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Here's some rays from Ray. Woo. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, follow my Instagram. It's a King Thing 2021. The TikTok is It's a King Thing 2021. Yeah, that's what it is. I remember to say it this time because Mo Better be on me. Mo Better will be here next week to give you all the gossip because I don't do gossip well. This Steve Harvey thing, this thing is just vexing my whole. Mm, Mo Better got all the good juicy dirt. I don't have the desire or the time to do it. Um, I think I got the Steve Harvey conversation because, like I said, they were talking about they were going to gag them, but they can't gag you if you're not in litigation. And you got a whole amendment right that you can use to say, it's a free speech, but we're not gonna go on that. I will. And furthermore, you know what? Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway. You guys have an amazing weekend. I'm gonna get off. I will talk to you soon. I love you guys.